Stud, man doing 5. How are you? So I'm
Oh,
using
really?
2 parts,
Okay.
and it's about, I'm going to do maybe a 3 or 4 part on humility, what it means.
Yeah.
And
All right.
what you taught on is one example of, they were talking about, John, we were talking about the baptism.
Yep.
You forget that said Jesus and John were baptizing people at the same time. They were baptizing many because there was a lot of water. And they go, hey, he's baptizing and you're baptizing, he shouldn't be baptizing. And then if you read the whole thing, John goes through, and I did a study on this, you probably know it, when it says, it talks about the bridegroom. I know the story goes of the groom. So he is the man in charge to protect the bride. When he hears the voice of the groom, he turns the bride over to the groom, and I now.
Yeah. Right.
And that was, and when you understand he's using a Jewish marriage tradition to make the point that we are the bride. So John goes, I'm the bridegroom. I'm here protecting the bride, pointing the bride to the groom until I hear the groom. Then I turn the bride over to the groom. And you know what I mean? And I think that's an amazing picture because they were really doing the same thing in a way in what you taught in Mark.
Who's the greatest? And they weren't.
Right. So I'm like, I was looking at that, and I said, I think the Lord answered my question because I just take what other guys teach, put it together, and call it my own. So the first part of humility, what it means to be humble, and then I'm going to use that.
Also, you say you're the tallest.
I'm going to use that too.
Yeah, that's right.
But you see,
It's no different. It's no different.
We get a lot of newer believers and people that are like, well, we do a couple of videos, and I know you guys, I totally, like, I don't want to be wrapped up in this argument over street preaching.
Yeah.
But it's kind of everything that's coming together is, I saw a video of Joseph talking to a guy, hey, are you a believer? Yeah, you're a believer? Well, if you're a believer, why don't you on the street preaching, bro? You're not, I'm like, a guy shouldn't. What church you go to, bro? That's not a good church. You should go to there. Point him to Jesus. And then the other thing is, I studied this, and you already know this. We all know. It's true. When you start, and you know it, you read it. You know how it is when you study, you get excited because it's old material that becomes new again.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time Jesus is involved, he goes, but mine comes from the Father. Yeah. So it's like this thing, an arrow. We point him to Jesus, decrease. Jesus points to the Father.
In other words, I've been obedient. I've been about your business.
I don't know. I just meant to tell you that when you were teaching, I pay attention, but I was really focused in because I want to what this speak
About it, because you might say something that I was going to leave out, or something, a good point that I didn't see myself.
They're all coming to him. Like they're all coming to him. John goes, that's okay. That's okay. The man can receive nothing less than has been given him in heaven. So I am not the Christ, but I have been sent ahead of him. He who has the bride is the bridegroom. So he who has the bride is the bridegroom. Who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because the bridegroom's voice. For this joy might have been made full anyway.
Yeah.
He must increase, I must decrease. I just get excited.
Oh no,
I'm
exciting
also,
stuff.
when I do this, I'm listening to your feedback also. That was just a trick, dude. It seemed like it verified or confirmed. Yeah, go ahead and teach on that.
Yeah, and especially you're teaching a bunch of men,
who struggle with humility.
Yeah,
We don't like to be wrong.
or correct it, or that's why we have problems asking for directions. Part of humility is recognizing that we need him, that we are in need. Because when someone's like, hey man, I need something, then you're admitting failure, failure or inadequacy. And for man, that just doesn't fly. But with humility, it does.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll be the first one to say, I need help.
So it was funny. I was talking to Riley to talk about something. Maybe I can learn something from it.
That's very
We're
true.
leaving for Prague tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I said, hey, bro. I said, you're all ready? I just got to get my dad's stuff out of the way. He goes, okay, we'll have a good time. But I said, you're talking about the places to go and things to do. Remember, you're there to study. I said, you don't forsake going to
You're gonna be like, whoa, my dad did mention something like that.
if you take one nugget. I said, I don't care if you think I'm crazy and out of line. But look at his lip, exactly what you said Sunday. So we roll in Saturday night, and Luke's wearing a hospital wristband.
Oh,
Kathy goes, is that a hospital wristband? Yeah. What happened? His lip was all busted. He goes, well, working on the job site Friday, we're in the middle of a form. If you want to come back later,
wow.
and he said we got in an argument, and the ice guy pushed me, hit me in the lip.
Oh, really?
No. Why are you kidding me? He goes, no, actually my roommate punched me. What happened was they were playing spike ball.
Oh, in the room?
He was kind of a punk. And they were winning, and the guy kept going, oh, the ice guy punching me.
It makes for a good story.
Thinking is, all right, you know what? When you get back, we're going to Slow. I'm gonna have a talk with this guy. I say, you know what? You're paying the hospital for the
Oh yeah, for the bill. Yeah.
and I ain't leaving here till I get it. I can take out a cash. Dude, this message is like hitting me because I was thinking, but I go, they're 21, they're grown men. Guess what? They gotta work it out.
That's true.
And the kid's gonna get thrown out of the fraternity soon.
Oh yeah.
Because he's been a jerk a lot.
Well, hey, you know what? It finally catches up to you. You know, you don't want to go through life like that, avoiding consequences because they're going to catch up to you.
Well, I tell you all that, some things that you had in your message will just directly apply to my life or my next lesson.
Nice. You know, with home fellowship groups, sometimes churches have community groups, and they sometimes meet every week.
Yeah.
So a lot whatever stood out to you.
You had a couple days to think about it and chew on it. I do a mini version of that with our men's group. I try to go 20, 25 minutes. And I always tell them, I go, okay, I'm talking about something. Don't be in the chat, don't be commenting, but I want you to think about it. And I want you to think about scripture, life application. And when we're done, either something that you experienced that's this, something that maybe you're dealing with, and this message is going to help, whatever. That's what I want. And then now they're really good about good discussions.
Whatever it is, you don't have to hear the whole thing. Learn something. Go away with something new. And you're as much as that is.
I think I told you the theory I shared with someone, or my little anecdote. What's that? Well, you know, it's just tough. Why is it the husband? It's just my husband's like it's kind of over his head.
Okay.
It's kind of long. Over his head. And I go, he has to be safe. I go, you want to be over your head. If you're not over your head, you're just moving along and you're not growing. I said, let it be over your head. Like you said, take a couple of scriptures that touch on you. Meditate on it. Sophomore at 165 pounds, or 160 pounds. If I got an escape, Kurt Markham took it out on me. I got, you know, I usually got a cross face. But you wrestle with it.
Right.
Taking that beating.
That's life. You gotta take your beatings.
Anybody
Pay your dues.
Anybody that's ever boxed, you don't want to spar with a guy that's not any good. You want to spar with that guy that.
Yeah.
That was a weak little. Put it up, Johnny. You were in Mark 9:42.
On the way,
Yeah, 33.
They were talking.
So here he is telling them, you point everybody to me.
Yeah.
You point everybody to me. You receive me, and you, because I guarantee, I bet his people.
Absolutely.
Hey, come follow me. Cool, if you want to invite people to your Bible study, make it about you. But I love it anyway, sorry. Obviously, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, that's a great passage on their work.
We saw someone casting out demons in your name and we tried to prevent him because he wasn't following us. And Jesus said, hey, don't hinder him.
He's not with us. In the Greek, it means he's not with us. He's not one of us. He doesn't follow the way we do. And that's where you get clicking.
But Jesus says if he's casting out demons, he's doing it in my name.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't doing it in my name, he wouldn't be able to do it. So those are two back to back.
Yep. Yeah.
Actually, three. There's three of them right there. They want to say who's the greatest apostle.
Yeah.
And then the other two, anyway, sorry. Sorry, Steve.
No, I love it. I love it. It's good. I've been meditating on those
I'm
verses.
working this out in my mind because I'm teaching that tomorrow night. I'm sure you do that. I do. Well, you hear Lisa talking about when Joe did his Silver Soul. She had to sit there for 4 hours while he went through the whole thing. Oh, practice it. I've never heard her say that. She goes, oh. She goes, I would sit there. And he'd say, oh,
Cereal, you know.
all of my trainings that I do, I got 30 minutes. So if you're going to teach, don't be a lazy teacher.
I'll even, after a while, I'll sit around wherever I am. Maybe I'm going to take a nap. Maybe I'm going to go to bed. Because I feel like I need to, if I lost my notes, I still need to be able to preach this.
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
I mostly just want to be known as the best teacher of the group. Doesn't seem to fit your
I know. But you could use that and ask him, imagine if this was the way I thought.
And then we got into an argument about who was the best teacher.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Oh, that guy, yeah.
making that thing about, it was definitely about Chad,
Oh, yeah.
who doesn't know his scripture, is only there because his father-in-law is a pastorally without looking at notes.
Yeah.
I go, yeah. He has no idea what the word says. I'm like, he delivered that with so much comfort and ease and knowledge and just the right amount of authority. Because when you teach, you got to teach with a little bit of authority, right? Not an arrogant authority. And I'm like, yeah, this is the guy, he has no place as a teacher, does he? I mean, I'm kidding because he did. All you guys did such a good job.
Yeah, that's nice.
I showed Kathy that, and then I told her about Chad teaching. I'm like,